Hey everybody, good morning. Welcome to the Morning Devo with me, Beau. Hope you guys are good this week. And what is it, Monday? And we are at, August 3rd. So we are going to do 3 chapters today on Exodus 25 through 27. And it should be pretty cool. Let me shut that shade. It's a little bright. Woo, there we go. Sorry about that. But yeah, we'll kind of read through the 3 chapters. And as you guys know, on the devotion, we love to just go through the Bible, just from Genesis to Revelation. I'm on my 2nd time through. I've already done the New Testament twice. Now I'm on my 2nd time of the Old Testament on these streams. So I've done a lot of teaching over the years. Probably 15,000 or something teachings from all the different ministries, and sometimes I'll teach 6 messages a week or so, just because every day there's some kind of study. So a lot of studies, a lot of wonderful just opportunities that I've had to be able to go through the Bible. And it's amazing if you just kind of take some time to go through it. Man, you learn a lot about our life and why the world is the way it is and why we are the way we are, why we have issues, why the world has issues, why we can't seem to just get it together. It's all answered if you just kind of start at the beginning and go. So I'm kind of, one of my pet peeves is that, when you don't know the source of a material and you talk about it, it's kind of weird because you never read the source. So it's like, how do you really know, what's going on? It's just like if you're talking about Islam and you've never read the Quran before, then you probably need to get in there and read it. And that way you understand why people do what they do, why they believe what they believe, and why they kind of behave the way they behave. It's kind of cool. Anyway, I'm in a little bit early today. Not too early, but just a little bit early. So hopefully you guys can catch this. But okay, let's read through this. Book of Exodus, 10 Commandments just happened. Amazing stuff. We see it's kind of like a marriage covenant where there is this vow of, will you do this? And the answer is from Israel to God. Yeah. God, who once appeared to Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, and they were individuals, now is appearing to a nation in a cloud over a mountain, of course, for all to see. And so it's pretty magnificent. And there is now going to be this establishment of the nation in the land of Canaan. And this is promises that have been reiterated from Abraham's day all the way to the present time. So it says, the Lord said to Moses, tell the people of Israel to bring me their sacred offerings, accept the contributions from all whose hearts are moved to offer them. Beautiful. I hope I have a heart to want to offer. Remember, the idea of offering too is to draw near. So you can see the issue in the Bible is one of there's a separation between us and God is making a way for us to draw near. That's the big picture we see at this point in the biblical narrative. It says, here's a list of sacred offerings you may accept from them. Gold, silver, bronze, purple, blue, purple, and scarlet thread, fine linen, and goat hair for clothes, tanned ramskins, and fine goatskin leather, acacia wood, olive oil for the lamps, spices for the anointing oil and the fragrant incense, onyx stones and other gemstones to be set in the ephod and the priest chestpiece. Have the people of Israel build me a holy sanctuary so I can live among them. Okay, so this is the idea. God's going to dwell with the people of Israel. Remember, not just an individual like Abraham, which he did in a body, or Isaac or Jacob, which he did in a body. Remember the whole wrestling with God thing? we see that God is unique. He's outside of time. He's everywhere within time. He also can have a body on the planet. We've already seen this from Genesis into Exodus. Very unique God we're dealing with. And here now, as a nation, Israel is going to have an opportunity to have God dwell amongst them. I mean, radical, right? Remember, there's a lot of fear there in Israel just because they know that you don't want to mess around with God, that there's something wrong between us and our relationship with God. There is sin, which separates us from God. And so we see, though, that God is always making a way to draw near. And he says, you must build this tabernacle and its furnishings exactly according to the pattern I will show you. Okay, so the point of the tabernacle is for God to live among the nation of Israel. That's the idea. It's interesting that Jesus said that he tabernacled when he, during his incarnation, coming through Mary onto the planet. He says, hey, I've tabernacled. I'm dwelling amongst you. Whoa, pretty interesting. It says, have the people make an ark of acacia wood, a sacred chest, 45 inches long, 27 inches wide, and 27 inches high. Now, all the architects out there listening are probably pretty stoked at this point because they're going, oh man, this is going to be great. We got the dimensions, we love to build, this kind of thing. Overlay it inside and outside with pure gold and run a molding of gold all around it. Cast 4 gold rings and attach them to its 4 feet, 2 rings on each side. Make poles from acacia wood and overlay them with gold. Insert the poles into the rings at the sides of the ark to carry it. These carrying poles must stay inside the rings. Never remove them. When the ark is finished, place inside it the stone tablets inscribed with the terms of the covenant, which I will give you. Then make the ark's cover, the place of atonement, from pure gold. So the lid of this ark is going to be used as a place of atonement. There's going to be a specific place where atonement is made, or covering. The idea of atonement is covering, and this is a covering for the box that's being made. It must be 45 inches long and 27 inches wide. Then make 2 cherubim from hammered gold and place them on the 2 ends of the atonement cover. Mold the cherubim on each end of the atonement cover, making it all of 1 piece of gold. It's interesting. We don't get an idea of where they understood exactly what these cherubim were supposed to look like, meaning the details of it, but it seems like the architectural structure, the blueprints, if you will, were given to Moses. The cherubim will face each other and look down on the atonement cover. With their wings spread above it, they will protect it. Place inside the ark the stone's tablets inscribed with the terms of the covenant, which I will give you. So you have these gold cherubim, that one on each side of the lid of the Ark of the Covenant, and they are to cover, their wings are to cover this lid. And they are, in a sense, a protection. Very interesting, right? Last time we saw something like this in the Bible, in the biblical narrative, was in the garden, where you had these angelic beings, these cherubim, placed outside the garden that were to guard the garden. So you see something like that. It's not an apples to apples, let's say, comparison per se, but it's kind of something very similar. And as we go on in the biblical narrative, we'll see more of this. And but anyway, it's kind of interesting, right? There's something that God is communicating with the people of Israel. He's saying, hey, I need you to do this. And there's something to it. It's not just willy-nilly. It's not just God saying, hey, this is what I dig, or, I kind of like this idea. But there's something about it. There's a uniqueness. Atonement needs to be made. The place of meeting is going to be a place where there's going to be a covering, which is interesting, right? Adam and Eve, when they sinned, what did they do? They covered themselves. And so there's going to be a true kind of atonement or covering or a provision that's going to be made that's going to help human beings. Humans obviously wear clothes. We deal with shame all the time. We deal with fear all the time. That's why we wear clothes, by the way. If you ever wondered why, I used to always say, hey, the Bible's not true, we don't, but why do I wear clothes? Right? It's because, scared, fear, right? People always say, oh, well, the weather, come on. No, you're scared of what's going to happen, vulnerability, embarrassment. There's a lot of insecurities going on. Yeah. And so we can see that, there needs to be a covering, a correct kind of covering that's made for human beings, where we can live at peace with God, where we're not dealing with our shame and our guilt and our fears and our insecurities and all this stuff, but that those things are dealt with. So pretty cool that God is working on the inner issues that are happening. And okay, so it says, then put the atonement cover on top of the ark. I will meet with you there. So this is the tent of meeting, the tabernacle, and talk to you from above the atonement cover between the gold cherubim that hover over the Ark of the Covenant. From there I will give you my commands for the people of Israel. Okay, so this is going to be a place of meeting where we see that God will speak to the people from this place of atonement. In order for God to speak to the people and to dwell with them, it seems like there needs to be this atonement that's made. There needs to be something that happens in order for God to be able to meet with people. If not, I guess there's a consequence to that. We'll find out. And that a holy God has many attributes, and we saw one of them is love. He's drawing close. But also another one we saw already in the biblical narrative, and that is to judge sin. And so God is working out a method to dwell with the people of Israel. And it says, then make a table of acacia wood 36 inches long, 18 inches wide, and 27 inches high. Overlay it with pure gold and run a gold molding around the edge. Decorate it with 3-inch border all around, and run a gold molding along the border. Make 4 rings or gold rings for the table and attach them at the 4 corners next to the 4 legs. Attach the rings near the border and hold the poles that are used to carry the table. Make these poles from acacia wood and overlay them with gold. Make special containers of pure gold for the table, bowls, ladles, pitchers, and jars, to be used in pouring out liquid offerings. Place the bread of the presence on the table to remain before me at all times. Make a lampstand of pure hammered gold. Make the entire lampstand and its decorations from one piece. The base, center stem, lamp cups, buds, and petals. It's kind of cool when you have a one-piece item, right? It's like, man, that's kind of special. I have a Jackson guitar that's one piece, and that's kind of neat. It's kind of unique, meaning the neck can't be popped off of the body of the guitar. It's actually one piece. Make it with 6 branches going out from the center stem, 3 on each side. Each of the 6 branches will have 3 lamp cups shaped like almond blossoms, complete with buds and petals.